Forget the crystal balls, forget the so-called experts. Today, we are decoding the 2025 forecast by doing one simple thing, following the money. We're tapping directly into prediction markets to see the future that thousands of people are actually betting on with their own cold, hard cash. I mean, seriously, what if you could see the collective wisdom of the crowd on everything from interest rates to the AI race? And remember, these aren't just polls or opinions. These are markets where real money is on the line, and that gives us a powerful signal of what's really expected to happen.
So, for anyone who's new to this, it's actually pretty simple. People bet real money on whether or not something will happen in the future. If a contract to say event X will happen is trading at 80 cents, it means the market is pricing in about an 80% probability. It's the wisdom of the crowd, but with actual skin in the game.
Okay, first up, we have to start with the foundation for everything else, the economy. The macro financial outlook for 2025, well, it really sets the stage for every other trend we're going to talk about today. Here's a look at the big economic battlegrounds. As you can see, there are dozens of these markets humming along with millions of dollars wagered on everything from Fed interest rate decisions to stock market performance, even down to who's going to be the world's wealthiest person. Let's zoom in on a couple of the most important ones. Wow, the market is right on a knife's edge over the Fed's very next move. Just look at this. A 53% chance they hold rates steady versus a 46% chance of a cut. I mean, that is practically a coin toss. And with over $6.5 million wagered, it just shows you how deeply uncertain investors are about the immediate future. Now, if we zoom out and look at the entire year, the debate gets even tighter. While that next move is a toss-up, the market is almost perfectly split on what happens for the rest of 2025. You see it right here, a 50% probability of exactly 2 rate cuts and a 47% chance of exactly 3. With over $11.5 million on the line here, this is one of the most critical and divided questions in finance right now. But here's where it gets really interesting. Despite all that uncertainty around what the Fed's going to do, the market is overwhelmingly bullish on stocks. A staggering 96% probability is being priced in that the S&P 500 will finish the year in the green. So what does that tell us? It suggests investors believe that no matter what the Fed does, the overall economy will be strong enough to keep things growing. And that bullish feeling, it definitely extends to the big titans of tech. The market is giving a 94% chance that Elon Musk will end 2025 as the world's wealthiest person. Now, this isn't just a bet on one guy. It's a huge vote of confidence in the future performance of companies like Tesla and SpaceX. You know, we're just scratching the surface here, but you can already see how powerful these signals are. If you're finding these data-driven insights valuable, do me a favor and hit that like button and share this explainer. It really helps more people cut through all the noise with real data. All right, let's shift gears and talk about the political arena. This is where policy, power, and perception all collide and create massive waves that can ripple through every other sector we're looking at. And believe me, the stakes could not be higher. Just to give you a sense of scale, traders have already bet over $28 million on who the Democratic nominee is going to be in 2028. This isn't just political chatter. This is a massive financial market trying to forecast the future of American power. The market seems to be painting a really clear picture of its expectations for a potential Trump presidency. On one hand, you have a 99% certainty priced in that he would sign an executive order this year. That signals a belief in a very action-oriented White House. At the same time, the probability of him leaving office is a tiny 3%, so the market's betting on both decisive action and stability. And looking even further down the road, the market has already picked out a clear frontrunner for the 2028 Republican nomination. J.D. Vance is trading at a 51% probability. That's a huge lead over the rest of the field. And with over $8.6 million already on the line, this is a really powerful early signal of where the party momentum is perceived to be heading.
Of course, we all know a week can be a lifetime in politics, and these numbers can shift in a heartbeat. For the latest data and real-time analysis as things change, make sure you're following us on Twitter.
All right, let's pivot now to the sectors that are literally defining our future: technology and crypto. This is where we find the big bets on disruption, innovation, and whatever the next big thing is going to be. And you know, inside the tech world, there is one question that just dominates everything else. Who is going to win the AI race in 2025? The answer to this is going to send ripples through every single industry on the planet. Well, the market's answer is surprisingly one-sided.
Traders are giving an 82% probability that Google's Gemini will be seen as the best AI model by the end of 2025. ChatGPT is a distant second at just 9%. And with almost $8 million traded on this outcome alone, that is a massive vote of confidence in Google's AI strategy.
And this confidence in tech's ability to execute is pretty widespread. Look at these numbers. A 95% chance Google drops Gemini 3.0. A near certain 99% that Blue Origin's New Glenn finally launches. And a 91% probability that SpaceX just blows past 160 launches this year. The signal is crystal clear. The market is betting on a year of major execution from big tech.
Now, shifting over to crypto, the feeling is a bit more cautious. The market gives a 62% chance that Bitcoin stays below 90K, but the real story here is in Ethereum. Just look at that volume. A massive $15 million has been wagered on whether it'll break past $5,000. Even with only an 11% probability right now, that huge amount of money tells us there's immense speculative interest just waiting to pop. Meanwhile, a national crypto mandate is seen as a 4% long shot. Tech and crypto, they just move at the speed of light. If you want to stay ahead of the curve on all these trends, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for our latest deep dives. So, after covering economics, politics, and tech, what's the bottom line? Let's distill everything we've seen down into the most important signals the market is sending for 2025. First, let's talk about the market's near certainties. These are the high conviction bets with over 90% probability. A positive year for the stock market, Elon Musk staying on top, major product execution from Google and Blue Origin, and decisive action from the White House. You could say these are the pillars of the market's 2025 forecast. But against all that certainty, these are the great debates, the coin flip outcomes where the market is just deeply divided. The Fed's immediate next move, the total number of rate cuts for the year, specific corporate performance like Tesla's deliveries, and of course, the future of political leadership. These are the areas where there's maximum uncertainty. We'd love to know what you think, so drop a comment below with your view on these. So, the money has spoken and the bets are on the table. We've seen the high conviction consensus, and we've seen the deeply divided debates. And that leaves us with maybe the most important question for any investor or strategist. Given everything the market expects, where is the herd blind? That, my friends, is the billion-dollar question. Thanks for tuning in.